Hi, in this lesson, you'll learn about wrapper classes. Throughout this course, you have learned about the differences between primitive types and reference types. Primitives are the most basic data type in Java and are built into the platform, and references store objects and classes. One issue that comes from having both primitive and reference types is the fact that some objects will only interact with other object data types. Array lists, which you will learn about in the next lesson, are a common data storage type that will only store object data types, and not primitive types. But what if you wanted to store primitive values in an array list? Luckily, you can convert primitive types to object types using wrapper classes. A wrapper class is a class which contains or wraps a primitive data type as an object. So, if a primitive type is a standard sedan and a reference type is a race car, the wrapper class is the wrap that transforms the primitive so that it can pass as a reference type. This table shows how each primitive type has a corresponding wrapper class. Notice how the primitive types are lowercase, and the wrapper classes are all uppercase. In this course, you will only study the integer and double wrapper classes, but it's good to be aware of the others. Wrapper classes are helpful for a variety of reasons. Wrapper classes enable primitives to do activities reserved for objects, such as be stored in an array list collection. Wrapper classes provide built-in utility methods for primitives, such as converting between types and performing operations like comparing values. And wrapper classes enable you to pass a primitive value into a method that expects an object. At this point, you may be wondering, if wrapper classes are so great, how do I use them? Lucky for us, a lot of the wrapper class functionality is automatically done behind the scenes when your program compiles. Autoboxing is the automatic conversion that the Java compiler makes between the primitive types and their corresponding object wrapper classes. The Java compiler applies autoboxing in two scenarios. The first scenario is when you assign a primitive value to a variable of its wrapper class. Let's break down this example. You use integer with capital I to create an integer object, and you then assign a primitive integer value, 53, to the integer object. The autoboxing occurs when the int value is automatically converted to an integer object. The same thing occurs when you assign a double primitive value to a double object. The second scenario of autoboxing is when you pass a primitive value in as a parameter to a method that expects an object of the corresponding wrapper class. In this example, this line creates a primitive integer variable called num. The printinteger method expects an integer object as a parameter. So when you call the printinteger method and pass in the variable num, autoboxing occurs because the primitive value is automatically converted to an integer object. Unboxing is the automatic conversion that the Java compiler makes from the wrapper class to the primitive type. Unboxing occurs in the same two scenarios as autoboxing. The first scenario is when you assign a wrapper class object to a variable of the corresponding primitive type. Let's add to our original example where we showed autoboxing by assigning the int value of 53 to an integer object called myInt. Now you assign the integer object to an int variable, which is a primitive type. The unboxing occurs when the integer object is automatically converted to an int value. Similar to autoboxing, the second unboxing scenario is when you pass a wrapper class object as a parameter to a method that expects a value of the corresponding primitive type. In this example, this line creates an integer object, and the printTriple method expects an int value as a parameter. So, when you call the printTriple method and pass in the num variable, unboxing occurs because the integer object is automatically converted to a primitive value. The unboxing affords access to methods expecting primitive values. You will see in the next module how this is helpful when working with array lists that store objects that are often loaded from a database. These array list objects can use methods designed to work with primitives. Just one more note. Just like strings, integer and double objects are immutable. This means that once created, an integer or double object's attributes cannot be changed. Let's look at a quick example. Here, you create an integer object and assign it a value of 12. Because an object is a reference type, the variable num actually points to the integer object stored in memory. Then, in line 10, you assign a new value of 10 to the variable num. But the original integer object that stores 12 is immutable and cannot be changed, so the program creates a new integer object with a value of 10. You also might have been thinking, isn't this an example of autoboxing? And you're right. Take a moment to try and understand why. This is autoboxing because the primitive int value 12 is automatically converted to an integer object. As you can tell, Java makes it pretty easy to use wrapper classes. So you're probably asking, do I need to install anything to use these wrapper classes? You sure don't. The integer and double classes are also part of the java.lang package, so no installation is required. Now that you've learned about wrapper classes, let's get some practice using them in the CodeHS code editor.